Hello, welcome to our channel. Today's topic is what India is doing to become the next chapter of globalization. What if the next global factory is not China but India, a country of over 1.4 billion people, rapidly building infrastructure, attracting investors, and positioning itself at the center of a new economic order. From digital payment to semiconductor ambitions, India isn't just joining globalization, it's trying to reshape it. But can India really deliver? Or is this just hype? For years, globalization followed a predictable path. Manufacturing concentrated in China, consumption driven by the United States, and supply chains optimized for efficiency above all else. This model is changing. Geopolitical challenges, rising costs, and supply chain disruptions are key reasons to redraw the global supply chain map. Where to produce at a cheaper cost becomes the new paradigm. India is part of the new equation. India is working hard to become the next leader in economic globalization. Progressively, foreign investments are pouring into the country for manufacturing, logistics, supply chains, and various civil engineering projects. Authorities are working on global governance and are playing economic influence at the world stage. We are seeing economic reforms, technological leadership, and geopolitical balancing to become a central node in a new multipolar global order. India is positioning itself as the anchor of that new model. Some key points of what India is doing to meet its ambitions will be highlighted here. First, building trusted and diversified global supply chains. The world is de-risking, not de-globalizing. Global companies aren't abandoning global trade. They are diversifying away from a single point of failure. There is a trend from investors to diversify industrial supply chain networks, which were concentrated in China. India's authorities are capitalizing on these moves by encouraging more companies to build their manufacturing hubs in the country. In concrete terms, India is promoting itself as a reliable manufacturing base amid global fragmentation and shifting trade alignments, offering political stability and rule of law advantages, offering incentives for electronics, semiconductors, and renewable energy manufacturing to attract multinational firms, expanding shipbuilding automotive, and energy sectors to integrate deeper into global production networks. India is presenting itself as a stable and democratic country. Now, in the second part, I will say the rise of multipolar power. The US-China rivalry has created space for middle powers to shape global rules. Global giants like Apple and are already shifting part of their production to India. Official reasons are rising labor costs in China, trade restrictions and tariffs, the need of diversifying supply chains. India offers a large workforce and a government eager to attract manufacturing. But it still needs to prove it can match China's efficiency and scale. We can summarize key steps taken by India recently. Maintaining strategic autonomy, partnering with US and tech and defense, working with BRICS on finance and governance, leading the Global South on development issues. India is becoming the bridge between competing blocs. In the third point, I will say exporting digital public infrastructure, which abbreviation is DPI. The country is known for excelling in information technology. Young talent and IT products and services already exist. According to many experts, digital product will be the next wave of globalization. Promoting DPI as a global public good, especially through multilateral forums like G20 and BRICS. Helping other countries adopt digital identity and payment systems, strengthening India's soft power, positioning digital governance as a pillar of future globalization, emphasizing inclusion and low-cost innovation, becoming a global standard setter for digital identity and payments. India is betting on technology to move up into leadership positions. Moving up the value chain is one of its strategy. AI, semiconductors, space tech, and advanced manufacturing are the focus points. Space programs, deep tech like quantum, biotech, defense tech. Now let's see the point number 4. Leading on clean energy and climate transition. India is using climate action as both a development strategy and a global leadership platform. Saving our planet or exposing it less to humans' destruction is an important subject. India's voice is heard at world stage on this topic. The country is also a voice on climate finance reforms and equitable energy transitions in global institutions. India wants to be the factory of the green economy. We are seeing investments in solar, green hydrogen, and clean mobility to become a global hub for green technologies. Now let's go for the point number 5. Reshaping global governance. India is pushing for reforms to make global institutions more representative. This year, this country is leading the presidency of BRICS. It will be an opportunity to promote governance reforms, climate cooperation, and development financing, advocating the Global South for priorities in trade, finance, and technology governance, strengthening partnerships with US, EU, Japan, Global South, for simultaneously maintaining strategic autonomy, leveraging demographic and workforce. This is the number 6. The world is aging, India is not. India has leverage the largest pool of young English-speaking workers. India's young, skilled population is a long-term competitive advantage. Education programs are in place to supply global talents in tech, healthcare, and engineering. Becoming a global services powerhouse, moving beyond IT to design, R&D, and financial services. India can produce and also serve as a huge market for its productions. It's a big advantage and an appeal to investors. Long-term visions for 2047. India's national strategy outlined structural reforms to become a developed nation by 2047. Economic growth through innovation and infrastructure, human capital development, global integration and leadership, resilient governance systems. The number 7, infrastructure push building at scale. India knows that to compete globally, it needs a global class infrastructure. That's why it has invested heavily in highways, port, airport, freight corridors. Projects like the dedicated freight corridors aim to reduce logistics costs and improve efficiency. What could I say in conclusion? India has a young and educated population, a consuming market, an ambition, and the strategy. India isn't trying to replicate China's old model of globalization. Instead, it's crafting a new template, one built on trust, digital innovation, green growth, talent mobility, innovation ecosystems, and multipolar cooperation. But India needs to overcome the following obstacles to reach its goals: bureaucracy and regulatory complexity, infrastructure gaps in rural areas, labor market rigidity, education and skill mismatch. So, yes, they have a lot to do, but it's not impossible, as they have advantages and we will to overcome all those obstacles. Thank you very much for following this channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much. On the next one. Take care. Bye.